Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. On deck, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Godden alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They've been the talk of the NFL so far. 9 wins in their first 9 games.
And some people subscribe to the theory that a loss might not be the worst thing for them. They've had it easy all year long. How would they do handling adversity?
Meanwhile, for the Lions here, things haven't gone exactly according to plan to this point. But, boy, you and I down there with them before the game, they were fired up.
And they understand how important this game is. Win this one, they can start to think about a turnaround.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 30.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish a running game early.
They run a draw here on 2nd down. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Now let's go. 3-19.
And they'll run it here. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Now let's go.
Looking to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here we go now.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Oh, free safety blitz, that can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
And now out comes Minnesota. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in. but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're number one in their conference.
And they finally get him down, but not before he gets it up to the 46. It's a big one there for the Vikings. 44 yards on the ground. The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Now this time he'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A very solid gain of 27.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. As his guys are in for 6. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well-organized, well-coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay. Yeah. I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that'll force upon them a 3rd and 14.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
They'll look to throw.
Green, 39.
Wide open receiver complete. The 30. Past the 20. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. The Lions into the red zone for the first time. They've got it 1st and goal at the 6.
Here we go now. 3-19.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he gets it a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time,
Adjustments.
right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal.
And that's called winning at the point of attack, isn't it? Right there at the line of scrimmage. I know he's a little bummed out now. He doesn't get credit for a tackle for a loss, but no game, his guys will take that.
And speaking of winning, to be as cheesy as we... Oh, he's going to be wrapped up and driven down.
That's quite a stand there defensively. A huge sack on 3rd down, and that's going to force him into a field goal attempt.
Now the Lions, they send out the field goal unit here. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And his kick is indeed good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like you had green on that play.
Yeah, they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. And an alley to run. Room to run inside the 40. And down to the 29-yard line. That good for 22 and a 1st down. Well, this is the reigning NFC Offensive Player of the Week. Runs like that might get him another award.
Yeah, Thunderbolt right out of the gate, huh? How about that, hitting the defense hard early? And, of course, carrying the momentum from last week into this week's game.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. That is caught at the 7. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
Leopard! Leopard! Over!
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is into the end zone, and the touchdown record is now all his. Carlson on for the PAT. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. Carlson now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Lions now. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that.
Toe bashed it.
Super toe. And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
The 2nd down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard.
False start, offense.
Yeah, maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
He'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this belongs to the Vikings. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. It's a quick turnaround for them after the turnover, but the way they moved it on their last drive, they're probably eager to get right back at it.
And you know me and you know my tendencies in this situation. What do I want right now?
Be aggressive.
Be aggressive. Take your shot right here.
No. Check. Patriot. Over.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. Carlson now to add the extra point. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now. Carlson now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
Down in this one, they needed that score, but they'll have to hold at least for the time being.
You're exactly right. Points that they had to have. As you said, they have to regroup now and see if they can get them another way.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. They'll set up a throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. In for the score. And the Lions are able to cut into this lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
He finds an opening past the 40. And he takes it across the 50 to the 46-yard line. 25 yards to pick up there, and also a 1st down. Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
Now, before the 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Just a couple there on the 2nd down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation. quick on the spin.
He's spinning, man.
And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number one. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. That is caught at the 7. That one goes for 24 yards. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. Carlson now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Nine seconds to play, likely the final snap of the first half as it's 1st and 10.
Here we go now!
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Hurry up, here we go! Green, 39!
And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the 2nd down play, they burn the timeout, making them sweat out the final few ticks here in the 2nd quarter.
Let's go! Green!
And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the 2nd half. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the 3rd. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the 2nd half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the 2nd half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. A big play there for Minnesota. 47 yards on the ground.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Fletcher. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth, when the ball's arriving.
He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because
he's got a man complete. The 20, 10, touchdown, Detroit. A big play there. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Lions are able to draw a bit closer. So he's hit pay dirt twice, but still they're facing that deficit here in the second half.
So they're going to see if they can continue to find ways to get him the football, because obviously something is working for him to find the end zone twice. In any event, however this turns out, he's going to be hard to deal with in the film room, isn't he? He's going to want to know why he's not getting more passes thrown to him.
Those big tight ends are getting greedy. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And with a marker down, he's up just past the 25-yard line, but I think they're going to be going backwards. Let's check the call.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
Now, this is going to put them back with not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Throwing on 3rd and long. Fletcher. And this one is incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll indeed go for it with Jackson. Open man is Taylor. He's got it. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. They go for it on 4th down, and it pays off big time as they pick up 29.
So the awareness of knowing where the first down marker is not just for the offense. I mean, his defense has to understand that, too, and they gave up a huge one there.
Oh, yeah, this is one of those situations defensively. You're just counting on getting the football. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you. And you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Here's Jackson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. The pressure really ratcheting up. They get the sack on first down, then a near sack. They got to him there just as it was leaving his hand.
Yeah, they might need to change their pass protection scheme a little bit. Maybe bring another guy into the backfield to help protect the quarterback, because that was awfully close.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. Throw taken in by Taylor left side. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That goes for a gain of 31.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Back to throw. Fletcher. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
But depending on the team, they call that an explosive play or a chunk play, the one that they got on the previous one. They tried to go back and get another one, didn't they?
They did, but unsuccessful on that second attempt. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. In for the score. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Carlson now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10.
Coverage was excellent downfield. I think he was more throwing that football away than anything else.
Yeah, absolutely, because everywhere you looked, they were covered.
Sometimes it's better to go ahead and be convinced that there's no place to fit in the football than to go ahead and force it and turn it into a bad play.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Tucker. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The 13 yards that time of the first.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practice.
And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Here we go now. Boom, landed.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. A couple of 1st downs have them to the 40 now on 1st and 10. Back to throw. His throw incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. It's a gain of 7, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
They'll look to throw here. Well, they would have gotten a conversion if he could hold on. Instead, the drop means it'll be 4th down.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Dancing away at the 35. 20! And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. All told, it's an even 30 and a 1st down. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. As his guys are in for 6. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. And
the Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's man. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And he'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. Back to throw here. And they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here, 3rd and 14.
Now let's go. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. It's a gain of 8, and it's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And this one is right through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So he remains perfect, 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now you know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
This is fielded at the goal line. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. His big game continues. Already has the 3 touchdown grabs, tacking on some more yardage and a first down.
And how precise has his route running been in this game? We just saw him get open yet again. And he's also made adjustments as the defense has tried to really stop him.
And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
Well, right now, maybe. They're just looking at...
And give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. Carlson now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So out now come the Lions. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 350 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to everything, if you're doing it without throwing interceptions or turning the ball over.
He's going to let it fly. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That goes for a gain of 31.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Minnesota, they keep on rolling 10-0 now to start the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, for the Lions, add another loss to the pile as they drop to 2-8 now on the year.